This is another video in kind of the series where I take some of my combat ships I own and stuff and take out a hammerhead with them. So this one's the Arrow, obviously, and since I did it with the Gladius, I've learned a couple things, mostly because I died quite a few times on the Arrow and had quite a few server disconnects trying to do this with the Arrow, so I got things figured out a little bit better. So in this one, the rear shield seems like it goes down the fastest, right? So as you'll see me later in this fight kind of switch to targeting the rear of the ship. And that's because the rear shield goes down the fastest, and I thought I could just take out the back portion of the hammerhead and it would blow it up. Seems like you can't just take out the back portion of the hammerhead and blow it up though, so that's something to keep in mind. But this kill is significantly faster than when I did it with the Gladius. But there's quite a few things that are different. First of all, I feel like I was significantly better at fighting the hammerhead in this fight. And second of all, when I was fighting it in the Gladius, I was strafing left or right and yawing to fight it. In this fight, I'm mostly strafing down and then I'm rolling, which makes it significantly easier to hit the target and be a little bit more precise about hitting the target. So I think that helped out a lot. Focusing on the back seemed like it was faster because I only ever had to take down that one shield. And like I said, it feels like the back shield has less HP than the rest of the shields in this fight. But you do have to destroy the very back of it, and then also you have to destroy the center of it. But like it seems like once you completely destroy the back of it, like this part I'm hitting now, seems like once you hit that, it starts doing damage to the center. So it's a little weird. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be like that, but that seemed to be how it worked for me in this fight. But you know how Star Citizen is. There's a lot of things that kind of are just bugs and shouldn't work the way they do, but that's how it is. But anyway, another difference in this fight is I used laser repeaters instead of cannons. I said in the Gladius fight I used cannons because I thought I would be able to get the most DPS out on it. And where cannons you can fire for significantly longer than repeaters, they also take way longer to recharge, is what I realized using cannons. And honestly, with the velocity speed of cannons, it's just not it's not super fun to sit like you and then you have to wait for a couple seconds and then you get another couple shots and then where with repeaters you get your ammo back significantly faster, so it feels more fun. The projectile speed's faster, so I think for me personally I feel like repeaters are just the way to go. But I feel like that's pretty subjective, and you can probably pick for whichever one you're more comfortable with. Speaking of like cannons versus repeaters, I think the cannons kind of need a little bit of a rework. Like I feel like the velocity speed on them is okay, but I feel like they should be able to shoot farther than the repeaters can. So like right now, the range that cannons have are, I think it's less than repeaters if I remember right. But I think they should just have a slower velocity and farther range. Like if you're dogfighting, it's not going to matter that much because the projectile is so slow at range, you're not going to be able to hit. But if you're like in a stealth ship or whatever, you might want to equip cannons in that situation if they had a longer range to kind of shoot. Like maybe you want to snipe a Valkyrie or something. You would be able to fire off a bunch of shots from stealth from further away. So I think that would be kind of a cool thing for cannons. But yeah, I feel like using repeaters is way better. Now, kind of the difference between... So at this point I've used 3 different ships, the Gladius, Arrow, and the Eclipse. And obviously the Eclipse is way different because you just shoot a single torpedo and blow it up, so that's the fastest, but you only have 3 torpedoes. Between the Gladius and the Arrow, now the Arrow has a little bit more DPS than the Gladius, but it also has less shots in the capacitors, so it seems like it evens out pretty well. I think the main reason why this is faster is because I was using repeaters, which I'm better with personally. They just feel better in a fight for me, and also because I had a better strategy on taking it down, so I think that's why it's faster. So honestly, I feel like the main difference between the Gladius and the Arrow is the Arrow I felt like I got shot less in, just overall. But since I only had one shield, like there'd be times, like it's not going to be in this one, but there'd be times where the server would lag a little bit, and I was getting shot and I wouldn't know, and then it would like all the shots would register at once. I would just be blown up. So that's kind of frustrating. So like even though you get hit less, when you do get hit, it hurts significantly more in the Arrow. So that's one thing, kind of nice thing about the Gladius. Even though you take a few more shots here and there, it's a lot more comfortable of a fight, I guess. Like you don't really have to worry about the server lagging out and killing you. Also, another thing with the Gladius, I did lose a gun when I crashed into an asteroid with the Gladius, so that also probably slowed down the fight quite a bit. And then another thing I noticed is I guess you can overheat your weapons. I never realized this, I guess because I hadn't really been fighting hammerheads and had an opportunity to overheat them. But there's like a yellow bar under the capacitor, and if that goes all the way up, they won't recharge on your capacitor for a little while. So that's something to keep in mind fighting the hammerhead as well. But yeah, the main things I improved in this fight was just strafing down and rolling to keep my target in range, and that made it significantly easier. Obviously, I took out the other two ships before this. And is it just me, or are the Hurricanes, like, they have too much hull HP? Man, you have to hit him so much to take down a Hurricane. I don't know, it might be just me though. But my least favorite ship to go up against in this patch is definitely the Hurricane. Like, the Hammerhead obviously takes way longer to kill, but it's so much more satisfying when you kill it because it's so much bigger than you, where a Hurricane's just barely bigger than you, and it's like, oh man, it's just like a bullet sponge. You just keep on hitting it and hitting it and hitting it, it won't die. And then on top of that, it has the turrets, which seem pretty OP this patch as well. So like if you come across one of those and it's another player trying to get you, you just better run. Like I don't know, unless you're an insane pilot. But yeah, it's kind of my complaint about Hurricanes in this patch. Hopefully, I'm sure CIG's pretty good about not wanting there to be a clear-cut meta and kind of bringing the ships that are overpowered in line in the next patch. And this is just the beginning of the balance changes, so I guess we'll see what they do in the next patch. Hopefully they flesh out shields and stuff more. That would be cool. Flesh out some of the components so they're not all the same, so you get different advantages and disadvantages for using different stuff. But I don't know where they are on that or how much manpower they're devoting to balancing. Like, it'd be nice if some ships, like maybe the Cutlass or Saber, got a different flight model. Maybe one that seems a little bit more fitting for the size of the ship or the thruster size and stuff. But I'm not sure when that's planned. Hopefully it comes soon. And hopefully we get physicalized armor as well soon, because I think that's going to be a massive game changer. But yeah, anyway, at this part of the fight, you can see that when I shoot the tail, it's damaging the middle part if you look at my radar. And so I couldn't blow it up by shooting the back part, but it started damaging the center at some point. So I don't, like, if you guys kill a lot of hammerheads like this, let me know what way you found to be the fastest. Because I tried to shoot the head of it as well, and I didn't have much luck with that, so I tried this. And it seemed to do alright. I guess if I continue to do this with other ships, I'll continue to experiment. But Yeah, if you look at my radar there, I really haven't taken much damage. Like, I took out the other two ships before this, all while being shot at by the Hammerhead and doing this. So, like I said, it feels like in the arrow, you get shot less. But if you do get shot, it hurts significantly more. Yeah, I'm going to run around and show you the damage to it. It's pretty good. I don't think there's much. Anyway, thank you all for watching the video. If you have any ships requests for the next one I take down a Hammerhead with, let me know down in the comments below. And thank you all for watching.